Okay, so I accidentally hit the stop record button again, but that's okay. We finished up with this one, Superman No Limits. And the other one I wanted to show was Superman the Men of Tomorrow, written by Geoff Johns and John Romita JR, with Klaus Janson, Laura Martin. Excellent work all around from this team. I mean, these are some heavy hitters right here. And that's why I was excited to get this book. The artwork by JRJR in this is just, it's fantastic. Um, let's get the credits in here. So, yeah, we've got pencils by JRJR, a Geoff Johns story, Jansen doing the inks, and Laura Martin doing the coloring, along with some of the other crew. In one of my shorts, I showed off the one of the splash pages here. Where was it? This one here, where he slams the hell out of Ultimo, the robotic gorilla. And let's see what this one. The powerful super being Ulysses is the last son of a doomed planet, our planet. Thinking Earth's destruction was at hand, his parents used experimental science to send their son to another dimension. Now he has returned, his journey having given him powers that rival the Man of Steel. Superman has finally found a peer, but will Ulysses become the hero and partner that Superman wants him to be? So, yeah, this was a cool story. So, this this man and wife were working on this super secret, ultra interdimensional project, I think for Star Labs. And it goes haywire. And their newborn son, the only chance for him to survive is they shoot him into another dimension. And his code name is Ulysses. And so Ulysses is shot into a dimension of very advanced, peaceful beings, where basically war and violence have been eliminated, but they're under threat from these other beings. And these other beings have apparently discovered Earth. Earth 1, I think, is the main Earth in the DC world. So Ulysses eventually winds up on Earth 1. He ends up under attack. Superman comes to his aid, and then he realizes, that this is not a bad supervillain. Like, he's a good guy, and Ulysses kind of tells him his story. Turns out his parents are still alive. They survived the almost certain death when the Star Labs thing imploded. So Superman brings him to his parents. They have a reconciliation. And so Ulysses is like, oh, well, since I'm kind of trapped on this Earth, I want to be like you, Superman, and I want to kind of be your partner and, help you out. And so he kind of acclimates, into human society because he was raised by aliens, kind of like these insectoid-looking dudes. So he's kind of, he's doing things like trying out street food in Metropolis, hot dogs and whatnot. And let's see here. They have these various interactions with some of the supervillains, but the actual arc of the story is that Ulysses understands that there's an opportunity to now bring a lot of humanity back to his world, back to his dimension, where there can be peace, because he begins to figure out that Earth 1 is like not so great of a place. There's war and famine and crime and poverty, and none of that existed where he came from. So he's like, I want to bring as much of this humanity here on this Earth back to my utopia. So this creates a problem, and after I think he actually starts donning the Superman suit. So this creates some tension between he and Superman. And, he seeks volunteers. Well, there's a number of people who are like, okay, well, we want to get on this arc, and go to this dude's utopian world. So you've got some of those scenes. And then Superman tries to convince some of these people, like, nah, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't like the, I don't like the smell of this, even his own parents initially turn on him. They're like, we don't think that this is a good idea, but they do end up going to the Ark, because they want to support their son. And Superman, starts having some light confrontations with them, and they're pretty much equal in power. So, they start having these battles. So here we have, again, a worthy opponent for Superman, and you get some pretty good, really good penciling out of John Romita Jr. in these battles. You can really see the Klaus Janson. I think you can see a lot of Klaus Janson, especially in that Superman page there, in the inking, And I think also, certainly Janson probably does some of his own touch-up on the pencils, but you really can see it, especially in this black and white reproduction of the drawing. It almost looks Frank Miller-ish. Janson has so much to do with Frank Miller's style, I think, because he was there early on, I think, in Miller's development. And so that carries over to a lot of what Janson does. And then today, even when when Miller inks himself, it looks a lot like Janson. And I just wonder how much of Janson's inking style actually rubbed off on Miller, who was already a unique and excellent artist. So yeah, it's just interesting to kind of see how those lineages transpire over the years when you look at these comics. And essentially what happens is Superman figures out that these benevolent aliens that are friends with Ulysses are not so benevolent. They essentially want to take humanity and use them as human batteries. So, kind of a Matrix, situation. And Ulysses, it turns out, actually didn't know this. So they capture Superman. Of course, they can't hold him for long. And Superman is able to, escape. He talks some sense into Ulysses. And, tells him, this is a horrible mistake. You can't get through with this. They're gonna end up committing a genocide on these, 4 million humans or whatever or so that they've been able to load onto their massive Ark spaceship. Of course, he has to convince him that he's telling him the truth. And then they decide, yeah, okay. So they team up, take on these insectoid-type aliens to crash their party in the ensuing battle. A lot of energy being expended, a lot of plasma energy. Yeah, I think they actually end up destroying that world. And they get thrown about in space. Real cosmic conflagration stuff. But then there's a fight again. Ulysses holds Superman responsible now for the destruction of their world, of the insectoid utopian world. So once again, just really good battle scenes with John Romita Jr.'s pencils here. They're just throwing haymakers at each other. And then you see Jimmy and Lois are watching from above or from below. Massive battle. Of course, there's the obligatory crushed skyscraper hitting the body through the skyscraper scene. Then we're going to get some directed energy eye weapons from Superman, so the colors change appropriately. We get, they're fighting in the rain and so forth, so you got a lot of light blues and whites to convey the energy that Ulysses represents. You got Superman firing up his eye beams, so we're bringing in like the red hues. I thought the coloring in this book was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty good. I don't know when these came out. I think in the mid-aughts, say like 2008, 2009, maybe 2010. But these are good looking comics. This reminds me of the old school stuff. So yeah, I'm down with this. This battle, just as it just goes on and on. It's a titanic battle. They do a great job of representing it. Essentially, Superman turns himself into a ultra thermonuclear, and he, I believe, he ends up killing Ulysses. And then who comes to his rescue? Batman. Yeah, there's a little bit of Batman in this. I mean, Batman pitches in to save Superman, pull his body out of the wreckage and so forth. Oh no, they don't kill him. That's right, they don't kill him. He's badly burned up and bruised, and Superman really put a whooping on him, ultra thermonuclear whooping. So they've got him. He's too dangerous now, so they've got him into a prison. Of course, I'm sure he was brought back as a villain in other issues. And then we have kind of a side story where Clark reveals to Jimmy that he is Superman. So, I guess that's when that happens. And so he truly is. I mean, he's always been Superman's pal, but now they're, now that he knows his true identity, now they're friends. And again, you got some pretty good reproductions of these black and white pencils with the inks from Janson in this book. In the back matter here, got a lot of the variant covers, but I think there's some sketchbook stuff from John Romita JR in here when he was kind of figuring out how he wanted to draw Superman. He has a unique take on Superman. This really, let's find an example of it. He gives him like this, he kind of makes him look younger than I think how we kind of always imagine Superman, but this is a good example of it here. Gives him that like real sort of like angular jaw, the sort of slimmed down face, kind of a boyish haircut, not the sort of like ideal middle-aged man look that he typically has. So, just kind of a different take on Superman's appearance from John Romita Jr. Which was, I had no problem with it. It was refreshing. It's different than, this is what he was sketching out for Ulysses before he... and, Ulysses has a pretty good look, too. His uniform was pretty cool. Here he kind of almost makes him this is more of a dark side look for Ulysses, and it was 25 years old. This is I guess is how they envisioned him. So still young, still kind of inexperienced, still gullible to a certain extent. The Machinist, who's a pretty good villain, makes a lot of appearances. He's kind of one of the ongoing antagonists. See, Cleric, who's really the main villain or nemesis to Ulysses, has sort of a General Grievous look to him, but yeah, he looks cool. Jackie Winters, who is she's part of the Daily Planet, political correspondent. So she's kind of under Lois's tutelage. One of the cover drawings there. And these variant covers like this here. That's kind of the Superman we are accustomed to, this sort of a more middle-aged, kind of look. Eric Larson did that cover. And then this variant here with this one here, it's John Romita and Klaus Janson, Laura Martin on the colors, fighting off these robots that the machinist made. You can see the difference in the look for Superman. A couple of other JRJR covers. Yeah, so I enjoyed this one a lot too. I don't know, maybe it's just my bias with Superman, but it seems like whenever I read Superman and I go through some of the different eras, there's just a consistent, entertainment value. Here's a Darwin Cook wraparound cover. That's pretty cool. This is Clark would sneak into the broom closet of the Daily Planet and fly out as Superman. That's kind of a running joke in these issues. So that's what that's alluding to. And then you have sort of like this wraparound cover from JRJR and Janson and Martin, with the characters, the side characters involved. So, yeah, I don't know. I've been getting consistent entertainment quality out of these Superman books when I pick them up from the various eras. Even this one with the late 90s, and then this one. What is the publication date on this? So this book came out in 2015, originally published in single magazine form, as Superman 32 through 39, 2014 and 2015. Okay, so yeah, these are a little bit more recent. These are modern comics, 2014, 2015. So kudos to DC on that. All right, that's all I have for right now. Got some more videos on the way. I'm going to try to get back to a regular video schedule because I got a ton of stuff. There's never any shortage of stuff to show. So I will see you on the next one. Till then, stay geek.